We're recording. Okay, so remember yesterday, so we did a little quick review by going over that problem or two from yesterday's assignment. Yesterday we learned that within the same triangle, sides across from bigger angles are longer than sides across from shorter angles, right? And we learned, everybody keep your head up. Everybody sit up tall. Everybody get off your desk. Everybody get off your desk. Kyle, all the way up. Kyle, all the way up. Thank you. We also learned that longer sides are across from bigger angles, right? And shorter sides are across from shorter angles. I think I said that the converse way. We're using the same thing today, pretty much, except we're going to be using it in two different triangles. Okay? So the same concept in a little bit different format. Alright, so ignore all that. It's very confusing. Just look at your two triangles. What do you know about these two triangles based on the marks, Charlie? What do these two marks and these two marks mean? What's congruent? Yeah, the line segments, right? So the sides of each triangle. What does this dash and this dash mean? Those segments are congruent. So the sides of each triangles are congruent. So one of the qualifying features of this hinge theorem up here is that you have to have two congruent sides in each triangle, right? And then we're considering that included angle for this side. So that angle that's created by the two congruent sides, that's the included angle. Remember us talking about that? Angle B would be excluded, an excluded angle from those two. So if these two sides are congruent, and we know this side angle measures 45, and this angle measures 39, all we're saying is the longer this side is longer than this side. Okay? So 45, 39. If BC is across from a bigger angle than EF, so now we know BC. We don't know what BC measures, but we know the measure of BC has to be longer than the measure of EF. Makes sense if you think about it. That triangle is going to be open farther, right? The lengths are the same, but the triangle, those two segments are open farther, so they need a longer third side to connect them. So the measure of BC, sit up, Kyle. Off your desk, Kyle. All the way up, buddy. All the way up, buddy.
Oh.
No, you're not. This is the second time I've talked to you. Either get up or go stand up. You can stand up at the standing desk if you want, but don't put your head back down. All right, so the converse of that same thing just means we still have to have those qualifying two congruent sides, and we're still kind of focused on the included angle. But now they tell us that the side across from that included angle, 12, and the side across from that included angle, 9. Based on that, we know if angle A is bigger than angle D. So angle A is across from a side that's 12 long, angle D is across from a side that's 9 long. So now we know angle BA has to be bigger than angle D. That's basically exactly what we did yesterday. Does that make sense, Corey? What, Sharon?
Does the M matter?
Remember what that is? That's just how you read it. The measure of angle A is greater than the measure of angle D. All right, so far so good? Okay, this is what it's going to look like when you do the assignment on Alex. Two triangles, looking for the two congruent sides. Sharon, please don't sit there and close your eyes. How does UV compare to XD? It tells us up there you're either going to pick less than, greater than, or equal to. Less than, greater than, or equal to. What do you think, Dominic? Less than. Okay, you're right. Why do you think less than? Beautiful. UV is across from 82. Exit across from 91. 82 is smaller than 91. So that means UZ, while it doesn't look like it, has to be shorter than the measure segment XZ. I see no congruent marks here. Do we know if any sides are congruent, Kyle? You don't know? So we're talking about this triangle and this triangle. Did any of the measures or sides marked congruent? No. Do any of the sides have the same measure? Kyle? Yeah. Yeah, which side?
P and R, or PR.
PR? 31. So 31 has nothing to do with PR, right, buddy? It's a degree, it's an angle measure. You have to know that at this point, right? That's an angle measure. That's an angle measure. PR is the side in both triangles. So while it's not marked congruent and it's not marked as a measure, we could say that PR is congruent in each triangle. What do we know about side PQ and side PX, Molly? Yeah, how did you know? Because they both have the same length, right? Equal measures means congruent sides. So now we can compare the side across from this angle, because that's the included angle, and the side across from this one. So how does the measure of segment QR compare to the measure of segment SR? Is it less than, greater than, or equal to? Equal to. How do you know? Because both the included angles have the same measure, so it's equal to. All right. How does the measure of angle JKM compare to the measure of angle LKM? First, it would be good if we knew where those were. Measure of angle JKM. JKM, we're talking about this angle. I'm not going to put a congruent mark because it's not congruent to anything so far as we know. And then the measure of angle LKM, we're talking about LKM. So we're talking about this angle. Which one's bigger? The left or the right? The left. How do you know? Because it's across from the bigger side, right? Now, we don't have both sides. We have to know that these has two congruent sides, right? But 29 is across from that angle, 27 is across from that angle. Since 29 is bigger, then now we know that that angle across from it has to be bigger. The side is longer, the angle is greater. Side, example 4. What do you think? Cam? How does the measure angle J compare to the measure angle P? So J is here, P is here, right? So is J less than, greater than, or equal to the measure angle P?
Greater than.
Greater than? How do you know? Very good. KL, the 9, which is across from that angle, is bigger than 8, which is the length of QR on this angle. You're exactly right. That's all we're doing here. You may have to toggle this, I'm not sure, on your Alex assignment, but that'll be pretty easy to figure out. I can't remember if you have to do that or not. All right, so far so good? Not really new stuff, right? Kind of new stuff here, though. Is anybody need to stand up, get a drink of water, do something? I got a lot of lazy faces. Anybody want to stand up and stand up?
I get the water?
Yep. I'm waiting on you, though, so you need to hurry there and hurry back.
Alright. So I just sign out?
No, I'm going to stand right there and watch you. Go. Mark, set, go. Anybody else want to stand up? Sherrod, you need to stand up. Stand up. Your eyes keep closing. Come on. What? Did you say, what do I mean?
Yes.
Yes or no? I said, stand up. You keep closing your eyes. Let's try to wake up. Okay, come back in.
Maybe someone else needs more?
Nope, too late. Come on. asking people to go to the back and stand up if you keep closing your eyes. All right, you can sit down if you want. All right, so what we're doing, there's two triangles here. We all should recognize that they share a side, right? That's that shared segment. We know that FG is congruent to FG by what property? FG is congruent to FG by what property? Dominic, come put your phone on my desk, bud. Why do you have it out and why is it making noise? So you're not supposed to have any sound on, and it's supposed to be in your backpack, right, buddy? Go put it on my desk, bud. None of those are factors in the policy. It should be on silent or turned off and in your backpack.
My mom was texting me.
But we wouldn't know that if you had followed the policy.
I would know that because my leg was on my back and it was vibrating. So either way, I would have felt it.
Okay. All right. So if we're comparing these two triangles, right? They give us some information. It's incomplete, but we can figure out the rest. What we're doing is we're trying to figure out how each of the 5 sides of these two triangles compare. Why are we only comparing 5 sides when there's 2 triangles? Don't each triangle have three sides? So why are we talking about comparing 6 sides?
Because they're connected.
They're connected, which means they share one of the sides, right? So one of those shortcut sheets, whatever you want to call it, is when we're putting all 5 of these sides in order, the shared side's always going to be in the middle. You don't know exactly what that means yet, but go ahead and write it down if you haven't already. Shared side is always in the middle. So that's going to be a little, you're only going to really have to order 4 of the sides because you already know where that segment FG goes. FG is always in the middle, that shared side. So on your assignment, they give boxes, you're going to type in which segment, the measure of what segment falls in. This is going to be the shortest segment, then the next shortest, then the middle, then next to the last longest, and then the longest. Does that make sense? Shortest, longest. Okay? The 5 sides. The first thing we always want to do is we're going to find the missing angles. Carla, you're writing when I'm writing, buddy. Put your drink away.
I'm writing.
How do we find the missing angles? Add what, Corey? So the third angle is 132. Then you subtract it from 180, so it's going to be 48. Add these two together, subtract from 180. We're always going to start with finding the missing angles. It could be on occasion you don't need them, but most of the time we do. Okay? So if they give you 2 angles in a triangle, or 4 or 6 angles in 2 triangles, chances are you can figure out all the angles. So now that we have all the angle measures, now we're going to label short side, medium side, and long side in both triangles. So what the heck does that mean? I'm going to show you. Only looking at the top triangle. What is the shortest side in triangle FEG? What's the shortest side? FE, because it's across from 48, right? So we're going to label that one short. What is the next shortest side? We're looking to name the medium length side. Which one's the medium length side? Which one is the medium angle? So there's a 64 left and a 68 left. 64. So we're going to go across, and that's going to be EG. That's the medium side. The biggest angle is 68, so the sheared side is along the side in this top triangle. Okay. What's the shortest side in the bottom triangle? So that's the smallest angle. What's the shortest side? The shared side, right. What's the shared side? What do we call the shared side? SG. The shared side has two endpoints, F and G. So across from the smallest angles, that's the shortest side in the bottom triangle. What's the next shortest side? Across from the 59, right? So that's the medium, and the largest is here. I've got small, medium, and large in both triangles now. Or small, short, medium, and long. We're going to determine the biggest triangle based on the shared side. We can determine biggest or smallest, it doesn't matter. What does that mean? So that means, looking at this top triangle, the shared side is the longest side, right? So there's no side in this triangle that's longer than SG. In the bottom triangle, there's no side that's shorter. This is the very shortest side in this triangle. So based on that, if this is the same length, I know this triangle is the biggest triangle. Does that make sense, Kendall? Does that make sense, Amaya? Does it make sense, Nisha? And then Nisha will tell me the truth. Does that make sense? It does? Does it not make sense to anyone? Andre? Alright, well, I don't believe all of you. I believe some of you. So let's look. Let's say these are those two triangles, but I just pulled them apart. Does that make sense? Yeah. This is FG, I pulled it apart. And I gave FG a length. It doesn't matter what it is. Does that make sense? If FG is at 20, it's 20 in both triangles. Does that make sense, Lennon? Okay. So this is the longest side. This is the medium length, and this is the shortest, right? So if this is 20, we could say that this is 19 and this is 18. Would you agree? Yep. All right. If this is the shortest side, this is the medium length side, and this is the longest side. If this is the shortest, this would be 21, and this would be 22. Does that make sense? So, if two of the three sides in this triangle are bigger than two of the three sides in this triangle, doesn't this one have to be the biggest one? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, Josephine? What part's confusing you? Does that make sense, MJ? But you're not looking at anything, honey, except for the wall. Why are you looking over there? Okay, well, let's not look at the wall. Let's look over here at what we're doing, okay? All right, so now that we know that this is the biggest one, the longest side and the longest triangle has to be the longest side of all. This is the biggest triangle. The biggest triangle's longest side has to be the longest side of them all. The smallest side of the smallest triangle, or the shortest side of the smallest triangle, has to be the shortest one of them all. FE. The medium, so both of these bottom three come from the smallest triangle, the top three come from the bottom triangle, or the biggest triangle. Right? The bigger sides are on the right, the shorter sides are on the left. So the medium one is EG in the small triangle, and the medium one in the big triangle is GH. I don't predict much success because I don't predict, I'm not really noticing much attention given. Alright, so once we do that, that's how we just did this already. The shared side's already in the middle. We put all the sides in the big triangle on the right, all the sides in the little triangle on the left. You're supposed to be writing everything that's up here. Y'all do have to do the assignment, you know. We are going to test on this. This is the one day we're studying on this lesson. One day on this lesson you do a homework assignment, Monday's review, Wednesday's review, Thursday's test. I'm not sure why the lack of interest today, but Dominic, you got all that written down? Shouldn't hear people's phones. Y'all caught up with me? you still need it to end. I feel like you should be done. A lot of people are done, but I will come back if you need it. All right, so another example. We're going to fill in the missing angles. Justin, what do you think? Where should I start? Okay, good. What should I do? So the left triangle, how am I going to find the third angle? If this plus this equals what, Jasmine? How many degrees are in every triangle? No? How many degrees in every triangle, Yuri? How many degrees are in every triangle? Nisha, how many degrees are in every triangle? 180. We work on triangles a lot. Everybody should know there's 180 degrees exactly in a triangle, right, by definition. So if we add these two together and subtract from 180, this angle measures 67. I don't have enough information to find this angle yet, but I can find this one. How can I find this one, Chris? They're a linear pair, so they're supplementary. So how does that help me? What does it mean to be supplementary, buddy? Supplementary, you add them together, they equal what? Complementary, yeah. Complementary, you add them together, they equal 90. Supplementary, you add them together, they equal 180, right? So these are a linear pair, they are supplementary. This angle plus this angle, and then that makes a straight angle. So 180 minus 67 is 113. Now we have two of the three angles again. Add these together and subtract from 180. 125 minus 180 is 55. They're asking this again to order all five sides. You have a question, Strauss?
Yeah, that was a start like.
Say it again? We haven't done any of the ordering yet. We can do the middle thing now. We could have done it then, it doesn't matter. But we did say in our steps that the first thing we would do is find the missing angle measures, right? So we did that. So the next thing it says we're going to do is we're going to label small, or short, medium, and long in those triangles. So go ahead and do that. You guys label short, medium, long in the left one on your notes. Mark that, go. Short, medium, long. What's the short side in this triangle? What's the long side? What's the medium side? Andre, sit up, buddy. Are you labeling short, medium, and long on the left side? Okay. Jasmine, you got it done? Justine, you got it done? Justine, what's the shortest side in this triangle? Very good. The smallest angle is 25. The shortest is FD. Does that make sense, Jasmine? Okay, Caitlin, what's the middle length side in this triangle? That's the middle length angle, so you're on the right path. So what's the middle length side? Who? So we're going to go across to this side, right? BC, right? That's the medium. The biggest angle of that triangle is 88. That's our shear side, so that's the longest side. You with me? All right, y'all do the right side. Do the right side. What's the smallest? What's the shortest? What's the longest side? The shortest, medium length, and longest side in the right triangle. Kyle, you're labeling your triangle.
I'm good.
All right, what's the shortest side, Kyle?
I'm not sure.
Well, you said you were done. What did you put on your paper?
Easy.
That's not the smallest angle, though, right?
Yeah.
What's the smallest angle in that triangle, Kyle?
12.
There you go. So what's the shortest side, Kyle?
Did I say that already?
No.
BB?
So BD is here. So is BD across from 12?
No.
No.
BE.
BE. So that's the shortest side in the right triangle. What's the medium length side in the can stop with your comments, bud. The longest side is across from the biggest angle at the longest side. Which triangle is bigger or smaller? Sure, I'll be messaging home today. That's about the 4th or 5th time, and it's culminated with you commenting Jesus Christ for no reason. So I will be messaging home, just letting you know. We had a conversation about these kind of comments yesterday, and actually there wasn't going to comment message home yet. But today, I am. All right, so you've been informed. Okay? Which triangle is bigger, left or right? Right? How do you know, Corey? Right. This sheer side, this is the very shortest side of this triangle, but it's the very longest here. So if that sheer side is the longest here, that means all the other sides have to be shorter, right? So now we're going to put them in order, right? And we'll always start with that sheer side being in the middle. What's the largest side in the right triangle? What's the largest side in the right triangle, Leo? The longest side in the right triangle. Good. That's the very longest segment in all the sides. Kyle?
That's what I thought you were asking me before.
Okay, what's the shortest side in the left triangle? Carlin?
C.
Very good. That's the shortest side in the smallest triangle, so it's got to be the shortest side of all, right? The medium side in the big triangle is going to go here. The medium side length in this triangle is going to go here. That's where they fall in the order, right? Small, medium, large. So medium is BC or CD. The order doesn't matter in these because we're not talking about congruent parts. The medium side here is CD. Any questions? Justin, will you set it for me? Thank you. All right. Last but not least, fill in the missing angle measures here. Huh? There's decimals. Decimals? No, there's no. Oh yeah, there's a decimal there. Yeah, there's a length. This can be decimal. Yeah. 7.5 feet, 7.5 feet, right? We can have length for a decimal. Sure. What are these two angles going to measure? Always starting by filling in our missing angles. We don't have anything to work with here, but we can figure this one out. What's the measure of this angle? We already know this one.
67.
Yes. How do you know, Kyle?
It says right there.
Nope. I said this one. This one says 67.
I know.
How do you know this one is 67? How do you know, Corey? Very good. These two lines cross and create a pair of vertical angles. If this one's 67, this one has to be 67. Add these two together like we've been doing all day. Subtract from 180. This angle is 51. Now, this is different. We're not doing these together. We're ordering the angles in the top triangle, and we're ordering the sides in the bottom triangle. So it's really less to do. So in the top triangle, that's the angle. So let's look at this one. What's the smallest angle in this triangle? Kyle?
6.
That's the side length, Kyle. What's the smallest angle? Carlin? Nope. So let's look. Remember how we know these? If we don't have any angle measures, this is the short side, medium side, long side. The short side is across from the smallest angle.
Oh.
The medium side is across from the medium angle, right? The longest side is across from the largest angle. So B is the smallest angle. The measured angle B is the smallest. The measured angle C is the largest. The measured angle, and you can't just say B here, it's BDC, because there's two angles there. That's the middle angle. That's the middle side angle. We're looking at side lengths for the other triangle based on the angle measures. What's the shortest side in the bottom triangle? What's the shortest side in the bottom triangle, Lynn? What's the shortest side in the bottom triangle? Very good. Across from the smallest angle. What's the medium length side in that bottom triangle? 15? What's the middle size angle? FD, very good. It's across from 62. So small, medium, large, right? So FD or DF, doesn't matter which way you order them. The longest side is across from the largest angle, and that's our last one. That's EF. All right. Scan and submit your notes and get started on your homework. Do not put your head down. Corey? Why did I go off of 67? Oh, we did go off of 67. We did. We just went from smallest to greatest instead of greatest to smallest. Yeah, we started with 61 and did the smallest side. Then we did 62 was across from the medium side. Oh, yeah, we don't go off. So it's where, yeah, we don't know what angle B and angle C measures, right? So we can't use that angle measure 67. We don't know what the other two are. We don't have enough information. But we can go by the side length. Side length 6 that's the smallest, shortest side. So it's going to be across from the smallest angle. 17.5 is next. It's across from the medium angle. Doesn't matter what that measure is, right?
Are you gonna grade this?
Scan and submit and turn it in. I don't know. Decide later in the quarter which notes I grade. I'm not grading all of them, I'll tell you.
Why not?
Because you have to take the notes. I first graded the notes just to encourage you, give you some more